that have had men and women who've attended that high school who have died in Iraq and Afghanistan. And next year, this event is going to be 3 times as big, because you're going to make it that way. This event is going to be for all wars, every war. We're all veterans. A lot of us are here are veterans, and it's our job to make sure that high schools acknowledge veterans. And they're not doing that now, and it's our job to get it in there. So we take the proceeds of this event. We go into a high school and we say, do you want this money? And they say, I don't know. That's what most of them have said. The larger the amount of money, the more likely they are to say yes. They have to participate. They've actually got to go out and have a committee, and that committee has to select the student that receives the scholarship. The high school has got to acknowledge veterans at some point between now and November, and we hope that they'll do it in Memorial Day that week. So they have to actually acknowledge veterans exist. It's kind of difficult for them to do because they haven't done it yet. And that's our job, is to get this event and this cause all the way across the state of California and then all the way across the United States. We want every high school to acknowledge that a veteran exists. We don't want any veteran to ever be forgotten. There was a generation of us out there that were forgotten, and we know what it's like. And so we don't want that to happen to anybody else, and we want everybody to be acknowledged, and we want all the schools to participate in this. And the more money we get, we go into high schools, they're going to start to participate, they're going to acknowledge the veterans. Briefly, I don't know if anybody saw this, I'm holding my hand. This event started in 2004, August 12th. A young man by the name of Brad Shooter was a Marine, and he was killed in Fallujah. I had the honor of knowing the young man. My son played rugby with him. I coached him in soccer, and he was a gift to El Dorado Hills. When he died, when he was killed, going to his fire team was ambushed by mortars, and he was killed going to the rescue of a downed chopper. So we set up the first motorcycle run. It had 80 cars, just motorcycles. We raised a chunk of money, and we gave that away to this high school. Kyle Dayton was the next person from this little bitty town up here to be killed in Iraq. So we started the run again. We had 200 motors. We had almost 200 motorcycles in that one last year. At the same time that Dayton was killed, around that time there was a young man from Shingle Springs Ponderosa High School. He was killed. That was Matthew Taylor. So we did that. So this event, as a result of that. Most of us here who are veterans, who were in Vietnam, have lost friends, we went through combat, we've shed blood, we've seen blood shed, we know what it's like, and we thought that we would never see another young man or woman killed again. Now it's happening again. So we can't let these people be forgotten. So we started this event. This year's the first year for the cars. Even though Walt Gray is having their Make-A-Wish run, it's a Walt Gray run, this event is huge. You guys need to pat yourself on the back. This is great. Now, Brad Shooter's parents are going to be here. They're going to be in the Gold Star tent over here for all Gold Star parents. On the other side over there is a easy up for Blue Star parents. Those are parents that have children, kids, young men and women, and spouses that are in the military. That's the Blue Star. So before we blow taps, I was giving you those names. Now, I'd like to thank the vendors that showed up. It's very important that they did. Really appreciate that. And most of all, I'd really like to thank all you guys that brought your cars in here. I'm serious. This is awesome. And the motorcycles, I wish we had like 5 times more of you so you could really crank it up. I appreciate that. Don from Indian Motorcycles brought his crew in here, and there's some nice bikes out there. You should have received a ballot. On the ballot, if you served in the military, or you are a veteran, which means that's kind of a stupid question. If you ever served in the military, wait, I was an E4 in the Marine Corps. You gotta give me some slack. I was at for like almost 3 years. So if you ever served in the military or in the military right now, there's a ballot. You're going to vote on the outstanding car, it's Veteran's Choice, and the outstanding bike, Veteran's Choice. Got 2 nice trophies, so it's up to you. Now I know that if you're a veteran, you own a car, you're probably going to vote for yourself, but keep that in mind. And the poker run, if you have a motorcycle, you realize, of course, that that's a $500 prize. 500 bucks. And then we have a lot of raffle prizes over there. One of them is a wheelbarrow full of booze. Of course, nobody's going to want raffle tickets for booze. I don't understand. But it's a $300 paint job. So there's a lot of raffle prizes over there. There's helmets. The prizes were donated by Yamaha, Roseville of Yamaha. The list goes on and on and on. Mercedes-Benz was one of the first ones to step on board for the sponsor of El Dorado Hills, and if it wasn't for them, it'd be very difficult to have this because they kicked in a lot of cash. So everybody here, if you're thinking about buying a car, quickly go over and put your name down so you don't in case they run out of Mercedes-Benz, they'll be all right. Okay, we're gonna, real quick, in Iraq and Afghanistan, about a month ago, Afghanistan's casualty rate was about 680. Today, that was yesterday, it was 774. That's Afghanistan. Iraq is 4328, making it a total of about 5,200 people that have been killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. If you are an Iraqi veteran, raise your hand. Turn around, people. Look at these people. If you served in Afghanistan, keep your hands up. Both of you guys, come on. Acknowledge these guys are operating with handcuffs on. They just welcome home. I hope you don't have to go again. In Korea, are there any Korean vets here? I know there's one. Come on, get your hands up. Korean vets. One of the committee members that helped do this thing. It's Mr. Grinnell here. He was a Marine. He had a bullseye tattooed on his chest. He was shot about 6 different times. He does not know how to duck. So that's Grinnell. He also is a Silver Star recipient. They awarded him the Silver Star for some of the brave things that he did. You need to shake his hand. In Korea, there was 36,516 people died. 36,000. Now, are there any Vietnam vets here? Raise your hand. The forgotten generation. We're not going to be forgotten anymore. These are going to make sure. 58,913. There was about 250,000 wounded. Pardon? On the wall. Oh, that's 58,900 on the wall. Now the greatest generation, I don't know if there's anybody here, I was hoping that there would be, the greatest living generation in the United States, World War II vets. Are there any here? I was told that 1 or 2 of them would be here. Put my hand in there. I know that we in the Marine Corps have one of our members is an Iwo Jima vet. All right, so now we're gonna, in memory of these fallen, there was a play that Shakespeare wrote